What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy and staying inside. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is just going to be me talking on why I decided to start my YouTube channel in 2020 and sharing a few tips with you guys for starting your own channels and just pushing through yourself to get to that point. So let's get right into the video. So I decided to start my channel in 2020, which I think to many people might seem like it's starting late, especially since all the hype with YouTube has happened over the past few years, and you've seen people like hop onto the platform and then either like continue through doing so and like making content, but then feeling probably like the process of waiting is a little too long and getting discouraged, or you see people like not choosing to start a channel at all because they know that the process is going to take some time. And I decided to start my channel despite the knowledge of everything taking time, because I knew that this is something that I wanted to do, and I know that I wanted to create content and share it with you guys, and also creating content for myself. I know that media is something that I have a huge interest in. In undergrad, I actually minored in film, television, and interactive media, so I love media, I love digital media, and I also majored in English and creative writing. So there's so many things that I feel like my artistic self has to come to the forefront. So creating stories, sharing these stories with you guys, sharing my experiences with you, sharing my journey with you, and just getting in front of the camera, which I just, I love being behind the camera, but getting in front of the camera has been a process of becoming comfortable with myself in a different way and confronting different parts of myself. And I think that this journey through YouTube is going to be one that's so worthwhile, and thus far it has been worthwhile because I am able to look back and see the process occurring and then be reminded that I am in a process. So I definitely say that if you're in a place where you're questioning whether or not you should get started, just get started. And it's the hardest thing to do, and it's the easiest thing to say, because there's so many other things that could be getting in your way, like mentally blocking you from just sitting down, saying what you have to say, and then putting it out there for people to see. But get started. I sat with myself a lot on whether I wanted to do this, and I said for like 2 or 3 years that I might start a YouTube channel. And I even had, way back in 2016, people asking me like, have you ever thought about vlogging? Have you ever thought about like sharing your like content and your life stories or whatever else through videos, because the things that you have to say are very valuable. And I had never considered vlogging before. I do vlog, and I have received awards for like my study abroad blog that I had while I was studying abroad in Spain in undergrad, and I love doing that, but I've never actually done any vlogging like content whatsoever. So stepping out and putting video and like visual and audio content out has been kind of out of my box, but it's also been really rewarding to see myself doing things that are different than what I've done before and challenging myself to other versions of me. It might seem late to everyone else to hop onto the YouTube bandwagon in 2020, but if you remember that the thing that you're doing is for you, and the content that you're putting out is not only to help other people or to do whatever you aim for it to do with other people, but it's also for you and your own documentation and your own experience, then you can find it to be rewarding no matter what time it is. I mean, let's say you choose to put it off for another year or so, or a few months or so. Like, what if you actually don't get it started because you're like, oh, I'll get to it eventually? Like, just start. It's just get in front of a camera. It doesn't have to be, I have a Canon DSLR that I brought back in 2016, but it doesn't have to be that. You have a phone. Like, we all have phones. Get in front of your phone. I'm sure you're in front of your phone on social media any other time of the day. Do the same thing with that. Once you move out of your own way, then you realize that nobody else can get in your way too. So I spent a lot of the past 2 years not feeling very much like me, and that largely occurred because I entered the corporate world and wasn't doing as much creation and being creative in all the ways that I know myself to be. So getting back into creative content and doing that in all the facets of ways that I create, whether that's like baking or writing or here visual, or with my podcast, like audio content, anything. anything creative makes me feel more like me. So starting this now was not really a way to say like, I'm gonna do it because everybody else has done it and I'm gonna just hop on to that. It's saying like, I owe it to myself to do the things that bring me joy and that make me happy, and this is a part of that. So if YouTube can become that for you, then definitely go into it. Don't hold yourself back from the potential to be like the best version of you, no matter what that looks like, no matter who else has done it in whatever ways that they've done it. Like, this was something that I knew I wanted to do, and so I'm doing it, and it just feels really affirming to believe in myself enough to, on yet another Sunday, sit in front of this camera and film a video for you all. And even though this is my own story and my own like experiences with the platform, I hope that it can help you as you figure out what you want to do and what kind of content you want to share, the audience that you want to reach out to. But yeah, in over the past 2 years, not really feeling like I was doing myself a justice with what I was creating has been dark, and it's been depressing often. But I'm feeling healthier. I'm feeling like I'm moving back into myself, and I feel so much growth in all the things that I'm doing, and I am sharing that growth with you guys and sharing the exact processes that I've used to get to this point. I feel so much more affirmed in myself. I feel like I don't need validation from external sources, but more so that I am that validation myself. And I think that is why I enjoy coaching, why I enjoy consulting, why I enjoy writing and loving and all those things. It's because it really allows me to share with other people the beauty of fully embracing everything that you have and all the potential you have to be like your fullest self. Like, you are good enough exactly as you are. There just might be a need for you to like tap into your greatness. And I think that I've spent time being afraid of my own greatness and afraid of my own potential to break out of all of these boxes that can easily just try to categorize me as one thing. Like, I am not one thing. I am multifaceted. I'm capable of doing many things and many things at the same time. And I think that over the past few months, kind of the past year, I've been showing myself that and sharing it with other people. But the importance is to show it to me first. So I'm showing up for myself more, and that is something that I'm so proud of. I am proving things to myself more as opposed to trying to prove it to anyone else. And I don't really feel like I was trying to prove it to anyone else as much prior, but more so thinking that someone else would tell me that, okay, this is good. Like, you know, you're good where you are, you're good with what you're doing, it's sufficient. But I felt that it wasn't sufficient for me to even be fully just like immersed in corporate world and not be creating. I felt like because creativity is not highlighted as much, excelling in the corporate sense can be like, okay, you're winning. But I would never feel fully like I have done myself a justice if I'm only focused on my corporate self, or the self that is socially accepted by a social norm, which is why my tagline is combating the norm with art and love, and which is why the podcast is called the With Art and Love podcast, because that is what I seek to carry in everything that I do, is art and love. And so I'm moving more in that and more in that in myself, and I hope that that really like influences you guys and empowers you all to do the same for you. I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know what you want out of your life. I don't know what is in your way. I don't know what parts of you are struggling to face, but I know that I was struggling to face so much anxiety. I was struggling to face so much fear of failure because I had spent so much time being good at things, and to come upon a part of my life where it was like, oh, I don't know how to do this, that was devastating. And it doesn't make sense, because it's like, obviously as you're learning to do stuff, you're going to come upon a part where you might not know how to do it. But that's where the anxiety set in, of like leaning in but still being confused. And I think now I'm just leaning in, I'm just pushing right into it and saying I'm gonna get through it no matter what it is, no matter how challenging it is, this is a part of the process. I am enacting the process just by sitting here speaking to you, which is really speaking to a camera, but like I have to, after I finish filming this, I have to go sit down and edit it and then post it. And so just stepping outside of myself and looking at me for who I really know I am and who I really know I have the potential to be has been so rewarding. So how did I do that exactly? How did I go ahead and get out of my own way and like move past my fears and conquer the things that I said I wanted to do? Well, the first thing that I did was exactly what I shared in my last video. I'm gonna link that up here. That is, I journaled every day, incessantly, like going through my thoughts and really sitting with myself. Why does he do this every video? Going through my thoughts and sitting with myself to understand who I am and who I want to be has helped me become that person, because I know how that person acts, I know how that person doesn't act, and so therefore I can start to act accordingly. I think that if I'm saying that I want to be a YouTuber and be on YouTube and make something out of this, then I can't not sit in front of the camera and make videos. That just, those two things don't align. So I think a great exercise, a great journal prompt that I've created, that I've done, has been to bring your ideal self into the room and to bring your ideal self before you and start to act as that person. Because once you've understood who that person is, what they do, what they don't do, what they like, what they don't like, what confuses them, what excites them, then you can really say, okay, I'm gonna show up as that person every day. You have a full decision, like a complete choice every day to make, a complete choice every day to make the decision to show up as that person. And so I started showing up as the person that I wanted to be. I started treating myself better. I started to take care of my body and my hair and my skin and just everything, just taking care of myself more. Thank you. Can I have it? Can I have the toy, please? Roman. I started taking care of myself more, and I think that it has shown, and I can reflect on it, and I'm grateful for that. I know that I'm excited to put this up. I'm excited for you guys to listen to it if you're listening or if you're watching, whatever you do. But I'm more excited to look back on it as well. So there's that. Another thing would be, in addition to writing it out, if you can do a vision board in any capacity, if that's something that you like. I'm very visual as well, but I do my visual with like sticky notes. So I'll like put little sticky notes of ideas and goals all over my little sticky note wall that I have over there or anywhere, honestly. So do whatever visual version works for you. Tips for this platform is to be consistent, and not being consistent only for like the YouTube algorithms, but also being consistent for yourself. You are not just making content so that it can be viewed. You're making content so that you can like hold yourself accountable. If you're able to put out a schedule and stick to that schedule as you said you would, then you're then showing yourself that you can really commit to something. But not doing so that's something that needs to be looked at more. If you can't commit and like do what you say you would commit to, or do what you say you committed to for yourself, then how in the world do you like go out and expect other people in rather like personal or romantic relationships like to commit to you? Like you have to do what you say you're going to do for yourself. So this tip of being consistent, it really helps reform your mental habits of showing up for yourself and being authentic in that. And I think saying I'm gonna give you guys a video every Sunday, even though I've struggled some days to get it out exactly before midnight, I've still always like filmed and made sure that the content was there. So yeah, I think that consistency is just like another way of showing up for yourself. And then I think maybe the last thing, because I don't want this to be too long, would be do some research. Like a lot of times I've noticed a lot of people just struggle to do something because they think that they have to have all of the knowledge, or that they need to have some kind of secret key to unlock to get to wherever it is they want to be. But like, just get on Google. Like the same way you can Google whatever is the newest trend, or what is the like most, like the latest TikTok video, you can also go Google how to learn the YouTube algorithm. You can also go Google what would be a helpful video for you to post on YouTube, or like the best way to create a thumbnail, the best way to edit videos, whatever. Like if you have questions, sure, like there's a great thing in going to ask other people, but there's also like learning research skills. Learning how to be self-sufficient is another way to show up for yourself, and is another way to eliminate the concept of you getting in your own way, because you have the tools available to you. It's just a matter of, are you going to take the steps that you need to, and are you going to get up and show up for yourself to take advantage of them? Like if you have a phone, like I've had this camera, there's no reason that you can't make this content. Like there's no reason that you can't do exactly what it is you want to do. I've had this camera on my shelf since 2016. It's now 4 years later. There's no excuse at this point. And so I decided to stop making excuses and to just do what I said I wanted to do and show up for me. And it's been rewarding so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it. I know many of my other videos have been tips and like tricks and like little helpful things for you guys to do whatever it is that you want to do, and I'm going to continue to make those kind of videos as well, because I feel like that kind of self-care and self-help content is authentic to me. But I also think that it's important for me to share my own stories and my own experiences with all these things, and like how I've interacted with everything, which I think I share like bits and pieces in those videos, but this is a little bit more extensive, which is why this video is longer. But I'm figuring out as I go through this process ways to share my personality and ways to share what I want to share on this platform, but also to remain authentic and true to myself and not sharing what I don't want to share. I think that that's such a struggle too with social media, is that people feel the need to share everything. And no, like if you don't want to share certain parts of your life, like some people are very private about like their personal relationships, then you don't have to feel entitled to sharing those things, or you don't have to feel obligated to share those things. And there's going to be things on this platform, as there are with any of my other platforms, that I'm not going to share because I am a private person in many aspects. But I also think that part of me being my full self requires a publicity and requires me to be public and loud and to be loving. And to be loving is to love loudly. And for me, that means I have to continue to create content for other people to interact with, which occurs on a public level. So this is for me, and it's also for you. And in that, there's a relationship that's built for us to create something that helps us better ourselves collectively and mutually. And I don't want it to ever be something where I feel super drained, or you feel super drained from the things that I'm recommending that you do, or like the tips that I'm sharing. I want it to be wholesome, and I want it to be helpful, and I want it to be inspiring and empowering, and I want it to be something that you feel you can share with other people, because it's real and it is honest and it's what you need. And I think that's all the things that I want to make, is just to create space and to empower others and to share love. So yeah, that's pretty much me for today's video. I am happy to have some sunlight streaming through my window. It's been gloomy these past few days, so this is really nice. But I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you enjoyed this style, and again, me just talking and sharing with you my experience. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it, make sure you share it with at least 5 other people, and subscribe to the channel and join the fam. The channel is growing, I'm growing, you're growing, we're growing. The growth, it's a beautiful thing. It's a process. It's a process, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all in this process. So thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and you stay safe out here, stay sane, do what you can to take care of yourselves and the people that you love. I will see you guys in the next video next Sunday. Peace.